Wars erupting in the Middle East and the WWE don't seem fazed about their stars in the middle of it all? I'm Chris Ward with the Wrestling Vlog, who always tells it like it is. To be honest, I didn't have a subject to talk about at first. And I was thinking of skipping this week and returning for predictions for Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. But after yesterday's news, I'm not sure there should be a Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. For those who don't watch the news, and I don't, but I've heard from someone who does and confirmed it on the internet, the current administration decided not to wait 2 weeks like they said, and instead dropped bunker buster bombs on 3 Iranian cities said to have deep underground enrichment facilities to make nuclear weapons. There was no solid proof that they were, but because Israel started lobbing missiles Iran's way, the president took that as a good enough to send out the bombers. This, of course, came as a shock to the rest of the world and sparked a lot of naysaying about the president and his decision-making. Of course, Iran vowed revenge. The UN didn't want this to escalate. And the Prez is essentially saying, we'll keep sending you war until you make peace. So what does this have to do with the WWE? Well, not sure if you've seen a map of the Middle East lately, but Saudi Arabia is just a hop, skip, and a short-range missile launch over the Persian Gulf from Iran. And if Iran is vowing vengeance on any and all Americans in the area, imagine what they would be thinking if they heard a plane load of American professional wrestlers, loved throughout the U.S., mind you, was touching down in Riyadh. I mean, hell, the fact that the Saudi and American governments seem to be on good terms with each other, you know, despite the whole lack of basic human rights thingy the Saudis have, almost makes the KSA an ally to the USA, and thus a target for Iran. Now, as of the writing of this vlog, no decision has been made about Night of Champions. They've been plugging this for a few months now, and if Mr. McMahon was still in charge, he'd say the WWE would be damned if they don't get on that plane in a few days. Who knows if that has or will change in the next few days. One thing I believe to be true is this. The president's actions and the U.S. military following through on them has grown tensions in the Middle East up to Desert Storm levels. I've known the area was perpetually unstable from the moment I learned about it as a child, and things just went more nuts since. The hostage crisis in Iran in 1979-1980, the decade-long Iran-Iraq War, the fighting in Beirut, Lebanon, the continual struggle between Israel and Palestine, the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait, the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Middle East isn't a geopolitical region anymore, it's a live-action Call of Duty match. And despite any assurances that the WWE superstars, staff, and fans will be safe, how can people not feel a little on edge? How can those under contract with the WWE even consider going into a possible war zone where one errant missile could accidentally blow the Riyadh stadium sky high? Live on Netflix and Peacock, no less. Yeah, the deal between the Saudis and the WWE is in its final 3 years, but who knows if the actions of yesterday will lead to there not being a 2027 to begin with. Endeavor, TKO, WWE, you cannot get 100% assurance that Riyadh won't be a target on Saturday for either the Iranians or the Israelis. Unless they have anti-missile missiles surrounding the city like they seem to have in Tel Aviv, they can't promise you total protection. You are putting the lives of your talent, not to mention Saudi fans, at risk doing this. Until the area stabilizes back to 2018 levels at the very least, when the deal started, I strongly suggest you suspend the Saudi deal for 2 PLEs a year, or outright back out of the deal altogether. Hold Night of Champions in the first North American arena that makes a decent offer. Sure, the offer won't be sheikdom sized, but at least you'll know that Iran doesn't have ICBMs. As for the Royal Rumble, well, I'm sure Lone Depot Park in Miami, home of the Marlins, wouldn't say no. And that would give me a chance to see another one in the span of 2 years. There is zero reason to put your people in potential mortal danger. And things are going to get really ugly in the area soon. I doubt you want to be there when the Saudis are dragged into the conflict for whatever reason. The best way to avoid getting hurt is not being there when the fight starts. Back off now, WWE, because the real Rumble could kick off any day now. I'm Chris Wall of the Wrestling Blog, who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace more than ever now. And I'll see you